Today on Rappler, former President Gloria Arroyo is charged with plunder for alleged misuse of 325 million pesos. "30 Chinese vessels arrive at the disputed Spratly Islands. And 80% of Philippine businesses plan to increase salaries. Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. The Ombudsman files a plunder case against former President Gloria Arroyo alleging misuse of Philippine charity sweepstakes funds during her administration. 9 former PCSO and Commission on Audit officials are also charged. In 2011, the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee probed allegations Malacanang diverted PCSO funds for election purposes. It recommended plunder and technical malversation charges against Mrs. Arroyo and former PCSO General Manager Rosario Uriarte for spending 325 million pesos in confidential intelligence funds from 2008 to May 2010. The special funds were supposedly used to help the agency conduct intelligence operations related to bomb threats, kidnapping, destabilization, and terrorism. The committee questions this, saying the PCSO's core service was medical assistance to indigent patients. The Senate report also notes Arroyo's signature appeared on the margins of Uriarte's disbursement request letters, an indication she approved the release of the funds. The committee says Uriarte could not produce receipts and other liquidation documents. Ombudsman Conchita Carpio Morales approved the lawsuit last July 13th. This is the first plunder case against the former president. It is a non-bailable offense and was filed a week before President Benigno Aquino III delivers his State of the Nation address. Speaking through her counsel, Arroyo says it's another dark day for the rule of law, adding that it seems to have been timed with President Aquino's SONA. Another opportunity to, quote, pillory and demonize the former president. 30 Chinese vessels arrive at the disputed Spratly Islands 4 days after a Chinese warship got stranded near the area. The vessels will spend 5 to 10 days fishing near the Yongshu Reef. The fleet's arrival came after China rescued on Sunday a warship stuck in Half Moon Shoal. The Philippines did not lodge a diplomatic protest against China. Foreign Secretary Albert Del Rosario says the incident was likely an accident. Asian expert Ernest Bauer says the Philippines shouldn't give up on ASEAN. He says Filipinos may understandably feel frustrated with ASEAN after it fails to officially comment on Chinese assertiveness in the South China Sea. Bauer is Senior Advisor and Director for the Southeast Asia Program of the DC-based Center for Strategic and International Studies. Bauer notes ASEAN foreign ministers had a substantive agenda which represents the growing maturity of ASEAN and its relevance not just to its 10-member countries, but also to its dialogue partners. For the first time in its 45-year history, ASEAN's foreign ministers failed to issue a joint communique following consultations last week in Phnom Penh. He says China clearly used its power to coerce Cambodia into the awkward position of standing up to its ASEAN brethren to prevent any mention of one of the most important security concerns for the group. He says the Philippines should instead redouble efforts to support its regional grouping. At the same time, it should have a clear-eyed view of China's perspective, that a divided ASEAN is in Beijing's interests. After a 4-day wake for the public, the Philippines comedy icon Dolphy is laid to rest in a ceremony exclusive to friends and relatives. Natasha Gutierrez reports.
It is time to say goodbye. Family and friends gather for comedy king Rodolfo Quezon's private funeral at Heritage Park to bid their beloved Dolphy farewell. After a final mass, friends line the path from the chapel to the burial spot as Dolphy's gold coffin is carried out. His family follows behind. Everyone is in white except Dolphy's partner of 23 years, Shasha Padilla. She clutches her daughter's hands as she leads her family to the actor's grave. Tears fall during the burial rites where the priest blesses Dolphy's body a final time. Children say their last goodbyes before Shasha takes a last look. The mood is somber as Dolphy's coffin is put inside his crypt and family members offer flowers one by one. But the priest lifts up the crowd's spirit. He encourages the crowd to cheer for the well-loved comedian and to smile at each other as Dolphy would have liked.
1, 2, 3, Bang Dolphy!
In the end, the atmosphere is light and festive in celebration of the man who will be most remembered for his kindness.
Tito Dolphs ay isang taong makadiyos, kaya siya mabait sa mga tao. Sapagkat yun naman ang sabi ng Panginoon, love one another, at yun ang kanyang ipinakita dito sa lupa.
The 83-year-old starred in more than 200 films in his 66-year career. On June 9, Dolphy was hospitalized for pneumonia. He died after 1 month of multiple organ failure on July 10 and was buried 5 days later. Hundreds of Filipinos from across the country came to the wake of their idol and the man who never failed to make them laugh. Moments after Dolphy's burial rites end, his well-wishers continued to gather around his grave to say their final goodbyes. To his fans, his legacy of compassion and comedy lives on, and this spot is likely to be visited days, weeks, even years after his burial. Natasha Gutierrez, Rappler, Taguig.
Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 5, the most intense fighting broke out in the Syrian capital of Damascus on Sunday following an army offensive aimed at driving out rebels. Human rights groups estimate 55 to 150 people were massacred by Syrian troops in the village of Tremsa Thursday. Syrian Foreign Ministry spokesman Jihad Makdisi denies the allegations. At number 7, U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton urges top Egyptian military leaders to support a transition to civilian rule, after which she was taunted by chants of Monica, Monica by tomato-throwing demonstrators in the port city of Alexandria. Egypt's parliament is in political limbo after being dismantled by the courts, restored by the president, and then pronounced illegal by the courts again. Clinton met with newly elected President Mohamed Morsi and the interim military leader, Field Marshal Hussein Tantawi. At number 8, Valérie Trevalier, the French First Lady, says she will count to 10 before tweeting. French President François Hollande said on Saturday, quote, "Private affairs are resolved in private, and I've told this to those close to me so they can scrupulously accept this principle." There are speculations of intense rivalry between Trevalier and Ségolène Royal, Hollande's ex-partner and mother of his 4 children. Trevalier tweeted good luck to Royal's opponent in the June legislative election, which attracted international media coverage. At number 9, specialists in Madagascar, the only place where lemurs are found in the wild, say 91% of all lemurs are under threat of extinction. The conservation group says 23 lemurs are critically endangered, 52 are endangered, and 19 are vulnerable to extinction. Conservationists say efforts from 2009 quote, deteriorated markedly, adding that now local people hunt lemurs, even the blue-eyed black and sportive lemurs, the only primate with blue eyes aside from humans. And at number 10, singer Madonna faces a suit by the far-right French National Front after showing a video of party leader Marine Le Pen's forehead with a swastika during the pop star's concert. It was followed by an image that resembled Nazi leader Adolf Hitler. Party leaders say the legal suit will be filed this week. Le Pen's party says Madonna is doing this so people will talk about her world tour. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. Palawan's underground river is now part of the Ramsar Convention's list of globally important wetlands. Conservation of the river's marine and terrestrial ecosystems will be monitored under the convention's standards. The Ramsar Convention is an international agreement focused on the protection of globally important wetland ecosystems. The underground river is also listed as a World Heritage Site. The 16-year online partnership between media giants NBC and Microsoft, one of the internet's first joint ventures, ends Sunday. U.S. TV network NBC gets full control of top 3 ranking online news site MSNBC.com. The site is rebranded NBCnews.com. NBC says the transition period will continue for at least 2 years due to deep ties between the two. The split allows Microsoft to form partnerships with other news organizations for its website, MSN.com. A business survey shows 80% of Philippine businesses plan to increase salaries of existing employees instead of hiring new ones in the next 12 months. The latest Grant Thornton International Business Report says these salary increase plans will likely be in line with inflation. The survey results also say the businesses do not intend to reduce pay. It also shows a noticeable drop in plans to hire more people from 42% in the first quarter to only 28% in the second. The Football for Peace campaign gets more support. It's about a group of Marines teaching Sulu children to play football to keep them away from violence and give them an education. Rappler's target is to collect 2,000 balls before the end of August. Carlos Santamaria reports.
We ask for help and we get it. The One Meralco Foundation and the MVP Foundation together donate 500 balls to the Football for Peace program, which tries to keep Sulu children away from violence and give them an education. In a ceremony, the balls are turned over by Meralco Chairman Manny Pangilinan to the Philippine Marines in charge of the campaign.
Sustaining, in the long term. But overall, the group has been helping the armed forces, principally through grants of scholarships to the children of widows. And if we could assist in the medical care of wounded soldiers, that's an area where we would be quite keen to.
Since Rappler first reported on the story, many pledged to help the kids of Sulu, where the project is gaining popularity.
It's getting the support, especially of the local population in the areas that we are having this campaign. The kids that we are targeting in the areas are they really love sports, and we introduced this football, and their acceptance is really very high.
Beyond Sulu, the next phase of the program is to extend it to other areas where help is needed in Palawan, Sultan Kudarat, and Tawi-Tawi.
We should look for a credible partner in the areas where we are having this activity, so that to address the sustainment part of this campaign, giving more effort so that more children, more school children, more kids, more youth from these areas would join this campaign.
A new ball may cost only a few hundred pesos, but it can bring back a smile to a child with little hope. Carlos Santamaria, Rappler, Manila.
Every story on Rappler has a unique mood meter which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel. And all of those votes are aggregated on the back end to come together for the mood navigator. Since Tuesday's death of Dolphy, we've seen the mood navigator be gray, which is sad. And then on Sunday, it's ironic. So we saw it gray Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then Sunday, we had the Dolphy's burial, 58% sad. And the live blog of Goodbye Comedy King Dolphy at 84% sad. Slowly, Sunday, it began to change to green, led by this story, Aquino's Inner Circle, an inside look at the men who have the president's ear. That's 61% happy. And then the top story for today, take a look. Arroyo, 9 others charged with plunder, at 85% happy. All of this giving the mood of the day. Today, most people are happy. Well, that's Rappler's Newscast for today, Monday, July 16th, 2012. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.